Boom shakalaka. What's going on, everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love, and I am joined today by Sankalp Shangari, the CEO of LALA World. LALA World. What's going on, Sankalp?
Very good, friend. How are you, man? Good to see you.
Oh yeah, I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to see you. We are across the world. You're in Singapore. I'm near Miami. I was there in Singapore. Beautiful place.
Yes, it's awesome. I think gradually it's becoming the fintech hub, or as they call it, Switzerland of Asia.
Yeah, definitely. I know they were pretty good with crypto laws and everything, so a lot of crypto projects were moving there.
Yes. A lot of we're seeing influx of a lot of Korean projects coming in here. The entire Indonesian, Indian, Chinese, everybody's kind of based here now.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk extensively about LaLa World because this is a project that I am very enthusiastic about. I actually wanted to tell you. So back in, I think it was March, I was at the NAC3 conference, which is like a kind of a crypto YouTuber conference. So David Hay was there, who's doing a project kind of bringing crypto to people in Venezuela. And then
Yeah.
Robert Beatles, who you actually did an interview with, he was
Yeah.
there. And he was saying, hey, have you guys heard of LaLa World? This is a project that's actually doing that all over the world. So that's when I first heard about you.
Thank you. In fact, a couple of days ago, I spoke with Crypto Zombie as well, and
Yeah,
and and he was also mentioning the same thing. And I've heard of David Hayes, but I never had the pleasure of speaking with him yet.
yeah. Well, right now he's just kind of retired down in the border of Colombia. Pretty nice.
I don't know what that means. Retired Board of Columbia.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Narcos, though.
Oh yeah. I'm sure he's having a fun time. I'm sure he's having a fun
Yeah.
time. So before we get into LaLa World, how did you get into blockchain? Tell us a bit about yourself.
So I've been a banker all my life with JP Morgan and Deutsche up until 2012 when one of my ex bosses he bought some equipment from Sweden back then. Bitmain and Chinese did not used to exist, and we just plunged into it. We bought some more. We lost some money initially, a lot of money in fact, but that is when we learned more about uh, uh, cryptos and blockchain and mining, because you tend to learn more in adverse situations rather than when everything is going rosy.
Yeah.
And we started mining and learning, and up until Ethereum came in 2015, when we realized this is going to be a game changer. And by 2016 we had already set up LaLa World. During this process, my mother was going through a very tough time, battling with cancer, and then she passed away last year, exactly a year today, actually. But we decided that, okay, enough of money. Let's that there is like 2 billion people in the world who have still not come out of that capitalism-led concentrated wealth scenario, and that is what we want to help. And honestly, I think blockchain just came as a blessing in disguise, because this allows transparency, peer to peer, kills the middleman and the dodgy guys in between. And I think this is the new way forward, and could be a very good tool to remove poverty in general.
Yeah. I remember when I first got into crypto, which wasn't as long ago as you, it was a little over a year ago. I remember them talking about all the unbanked people suddenly being banked with blockchain. And that was just like a monumental concept.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I guess tell us a bit about LaLa World.
Yeah. So Lala World is very simply banking for the unbanked, and rather than creating piecemeal banking activities, we are creating a whole new financial ecosystem, which includes the entire suite of core banking, front office, middle office, back office, as well as the front end applications like remittance and lending, lending primarily microcredit, which is what what the poor really need to bring them out of that mess to begin with. And then you need to attach that with some sustainable efforts like sanitation, hygiene, education, health, to especially for the women and children, youth, so that they have a sustainable job, sustainable uh, businesses, and we want to focus on giving them some micro entrepreneur opportunities, so that they don't have to rely on anybody going forward.
Yeah. And so I want to find out how far into that are you? Because it is quite an ambitious project. And I saw
Yeah.
you have an amazing vision down on the bottom of your website, 100 million people impacted by 2020 in 50 countries. So
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to do that? And where are you in terms of doing that?
So I think we have been blessed with friends like you, and the entire investor community. Honestly, I think blessed is the right word, because it just wouldn't have been possible where we are today. Today we as a our LALA wallet is the base, which is launched in India and Malaysia, but now on next week itself, we are going to launch a very enhanced version of the wallet, and then start releasing one product each in each country depending on the regulation. We continue to get this question, what about crypto and all that? We are a pure fiat wallet, because in this part of the world, be it Bangladesh, India, UAE, Sri Lanka, crypto is not allowed. Crypto is a no, and the wallet is a regulated entity. So, but we have a different way of utilizing the tokens in there, through a partner that we will announce hopefully by end of the month as well. So where we are in about 2 countries, and we should be in the target is that in Q3 we should be in at least 10. In some shape or form we already are, but we are beta testing, or we are testing the markets, or we are for example, lending through just couple of partners on a test basis, and so on and so forth. But now, since the product and everything is planned and practically ready, I think we're gonna push it very quickly.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. And I think probably the reason why you're so blessed in terms of the people helping you is because you're doing that's just something to help the world. Like, this is the reason why why people love cryptocurrencies, because it can literally change the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think again, people talk. A lot of people talk, and a lot of people are trying to help. For example, the blockchain for impact, the consensus thing, or few other blockchain efforts. But over the years, at least I have realized that I have to go sit with that guy, understand his problems. Just by giving away charity, or sending some donation, or you know working at the sustainability efforts of the United Nations is just pep talk.
Mhm.
We really need to go to and we all are blessed. We are sitting here in good homes, having all the brokerage accounts, and these guys don't even have food to eat. Honestly, we're living in 21st century, 100 years of capitalism and free market that was supposed to change things, and we are still in that. In the process, obviously, our investors have helped us, and we want them to be the first beneficiaries of this financial revolution.
Awesome. So to kind of get a more concrete idea of what's going on, if I was someone living in, say, India, and I didn't have any money, but I heard about LALA World, how would I get involved with it?
Yeah, so we are doing some big marketing efforts around the world, and in India we have just acquired NBFC, which is like a money lender's license, We will be announcing that shortly, but the paperwork is kind of done. Um, and through that we are starting in two states in India, and the plan is to be in at least 15 states in India. Anybody, like you said, who wants a loan can actually download our LALA Wallet app, and apply inside there. There is a unique LALA ID created immediately for him, and calculates a LALA score based on 5 different parameters: social score, local score, AI driven, etc. 450 data points collected from his Android smartphone, and based on that, we underwrite some credit for him. We obviously want to give credit to as many people as possible, but not only there is a monetary limit, but also a risk. To avoid that risk, then our local team goes to his house and understands what he needs, why he needs, and also the focus, like I said, is to give more to women than anybody else. So you can just pretty much apply on the web app, and the money will be in your bank, and then the team will still come to understand your problem. That is the key here.
Wow. Yeah, that's really going to make a difference. And I was actually listening to the interview you did with Crypto Zombie, and I think you were mentioning that there was a 0% default rate.
Yeah. So we did a pilot in a state in Gujarat in India for over a year, and we lend out a lot of loans to people, especially these poor people, and they don't default. They don't default. Again, when I say don't default, we, in some cases, so for example, in 90, I think it was 98.8% of the cases, there was no default. In rest of them, we had to give little bit flexibility and work with them to pay back. Whereas so even if I was to take that into account, 1% of late payments, it's nothing compared to a general 3 to 5% going on in the Indian market, especially for this class of people where nobody's even lending. The banks don't want to touch them. Even the big NBFCs are like, I'm making enough money elsewhere, I don't want to bother. Tech, AI is not there. See, and on the blockchain side, we are just using smart contracts for now, but gradually we want to move more and more. Right now, the crypto is not there in India. Like, it's not allowed. If I start using that in India, they will just shut down my NBFC. So which I cannot afford.
Yeah. Well, that's extraordinary that there is such a low default rate, because you look at places like the United States, which is one of the richest countries in the world, and on student loans, there's almost like a third default rate from borrowers, which is crazy. Like a third of the loans get defaulted on. So, I mean, it's awesome. Now, you mentioned micropayments previously and the lending, and also you're using the Stellar blockchain, correct?
Yes.
Is that the reason for Stellar, because it does adapt to the micropayments, or is there other reasons that you chose to work with Stellar?
So Stellar, primarily we researched a lot of blockchains, and we stuck to Stellar initially was to do cross-border remittance. And that is primarily what Stellar is made of, or is what they are selling. And we have done extensive research over the last 6 months. We were probably the fastest and the first ones to already integrate with Stellar, and working with the Stellar team to get more anchors, because Stellar needs more in their platform. They call it anchors, which is like other Stellar partners in different countries, other remittance companies, and also technical integration needs to be done, which not many people can do or have resources or have money. So we have already built a white label solution for those people to help Stellar. And I think that's where the partnership is going with Stellar, not only to use them, but in the overall remittance picture of LALA World, which is called LALA Transfer. Stellar is one small part. we are so to give you an idea, we have purchased something in London, in UK, a licensed entity, which will kind of become our and allow me this opportunity to announce on this show for the first time.
Oh.
We have more news will come through newsletters and all, but we have purchased this entity in UK, which will be used for global remittances for us. And we have integrated with one of the largest banks in Russia to start CIS and Europe to Asia. Money transfers, like people will send from, say, using either the bank's locations and partners, or we are also working on giving them a white label LALA wallet solution. But again, the licensing and all is being worked out. Technically, we are ready. And in Asia, we will start in sending money to Malaysia, Vietnam, and Philippines, and then directly, and through 3 other partners that we are integrating now. We should be able to send money to 150 countries, 52 to be precise.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the receiving side is covered. Now, on the sending side, starting with CIS and Europe, we are already making inroads into Middle East, where we are working with several remittance partners, as well as working on our own remittance license, because we have a lot of migrants in Middle East. From there, we are already looking at Korea through 2 partners who are both on Stellar, by the way, and we are working with now already thinking how to get to Canada, US, South America, Africa, but one step at a time. In the next quarter, Q3, we want to streamline everything, because I'm sure we'll make mistakes. I'm sure there'll be some teething problems, operationally, technically, compliance, license. It's a lot of things in the back end that it's not just a flip of the button. Let's start today.
Yeah. I mean, you say one step at a time, but you're making moves, and you're, addressing a lot of different countries, which is really, really cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So you've got some pretty big partnerships that are helping you out. Can you speak a little bit about them?
So Ryan, we live and breathe partnerships. It's the partnerships, I think, which we all need to leverage, be it business, be it life, be it a small company, because everybody already has a skill or a distribution network. Rather, if I have to be global, and if I really have to get to that bottom level, I have to leverage the existing distribution networks, and that is what we are doing in different parts of the world. So we have 4 kind of partnerships as we chart out in our business plan. The first is global partnerships with people like yourself on the marketing, or people, or United Nations, or UNDP food program. Last night we got a call that we will be actively working with the United Nations food program to deliver LALA ID and LALA wallet. It's still work in progress. I don't know how it will pan out, but you see the extent of things we are trying. So other global partnerships is working with lot of other wallet companies, other governments, subsidiaries, NGOs, non-profits, and then we have specific product partnerships. On remittance, we have various partnerships. On lending, we have various partnerships, and now there is a dedicated person and a team who looks after all the global strategy and partnerships, and we have a weekly meeting. Organizing all these humans has been the toughest part, I tell you, rather than just the product itself.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a pretty big team now?
We are about 100 people globally now, and we are growing rapidly. But now the focus is more on automation and AI and machine learning as much as we can. I think on the lending side, pretty much we have done it. And I think by Q3, my team has given me a target of August, but I'm giving you Q3, that we will be fully automized, whereby somebody can just come to our LALA app, apply, and the money is in the bank account. Simple.
Yeah.
Because in the back end we have built we have integrated local engines, local checking, LALA score, LALA ID, everything is there. Probably not in 100% of the cases, because some of them will still need manual intervention, but we're getting there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so basically, LALA World can benefit, or a lot of people can benefit from LALA World, like migrants, international students, travelers, digital nomads. So it's not just for people in, who are very poor in small countries, right?
Yeah, absolutely. See, once the tech is built and we start distributing either directly or through partners, the B2B partners, anybody can pretty much use it. But the way we are building it, and the focus is to help the poor. The focus is to get them out of poverty. And the poor, the category of the poor that we started with is migrants on one side and their families back home, which is primarily his wife and his son or daughter. And for migrants is primarily the remittance part, which we are working on, how to make it quicker, cheaper, comfortable. And on the family part is primarily the micro lending and financing, so that the whole family can benefit. His brother needs a loan to open a bakery. I should be able to leverage on his income or brother's history and transaction history, etc., to give him something. Crypto or non-crypto will depend on the jurisdiction where I am in.
Very nice. Very nice. So you've already mentioned a whole bunch of stuff coming up on the roadmap. Sounds like you got a pretty ambitious year ahead of you.
Yeah. Did you realize half the year is gone?
I know, it goes so fast. So fast. Yeah. So anything else that you wanted to discuss on the interview today? I think I covered most of the things that I had.
Yeah, I think another thing that we always say and we want to cover is that we continue to grow. Now this ecosystem is growing. We're on the side. We are working on LALA Care and LALA Foundation. We're working on an educational series on blockchain with Block Social, which will be released very soon. We're working on some tech part as well to create some form of association, something like a blockchain for impact to really help the poor, especially in this part of the world. So anybody who wants to partner with us, anybody who wants to donate to a certain project, anybody who wants to do anything to remove poverty, I think please, I'm always there on LinkedIn. You can get hold of me. And we continue to deliver what we have promised so far. Sometimes things change because of regulations or because of a third party vendor not being able to deliver something, but we keep you updated as we go. You have seen a lot of activity, especially in the month of May. And there is a lot of news coming because we are here for the next 50 years. Our target is to, if 100 million out of poverty by 2020, then 1 billion people out of poverty by 2030. We are not here for just a fly by night, and for that, crypto or blockchain is a very small part of the whole thing. It is more about humans and removing poverty. And once we have scale, then I think LALA token becomes the base of everything. It took 8 years for Bitcoin to even being recognized. And you look around. If you look around, all the projects, 99.9% of them, I still don't see a product.
Mhm.
Honestly, I don't see a product. I really want to. I really wish that everybody delivers something. But raising 4 billion is freakish,
Yeah.
right? And for what? I don't understand that part, and that's why we have raised a very significant, I think smallish, and not even a, but we have raised a decent amount, and we have a very fixed supply of a small supply. We could also have done 1 billion coins and so on and so forth, but we are here for the long run, and you will see how we spread our wings across the globe and make LALA token one of the most accepted currencies of all times.
Yeah, that's really refreshing to hear that a project that actually has a plan for 50 years. Most of them are just, ideas, vaporware, everything. But yeah, it's really refreshing to hear that. And plus, just you're out there to help people. Like, really,
Yeah,
that's just, that's the best cause
yeah,
for anything.
yeah. And there's the homeless in US, or the street guy in UK is no different from the beggar in India.
Hmm.
All of them need help. Somebody must help. Charity is not the way.
Yeah,
Social business is the way, which means where everybody puts in money but does not expect a profit, but the company still makes profit and reinvests back. And in the process, like I said, blockchain comes as a blessing, where it comes with this token. The more it spreads, the more the token awareness and everything can grow.
awesome. So last question, just because I'm sure some people are wondering, where did the name come from, LALA World?
So when we started in 2016, we only wanted to do microcredit back then, and we called it LALA Lends, and that is our platform, lalalends.com, for lending as well. And LALA means a small time village money lender in India,
Hmm.
and LALA Lends. At that time, the LALA Lands movie was very popular, so kind of a happy lender borrower relationship, LALA, and then it became LALA Transfer, LALA ID, and then the whole LALA world. So the word LALA stuck to us, and I think it works very well.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds great. So, Sankalp, thank you so much for joining me for this interview. It's been an
Thank you.
absolute pleasure. And I wish you the best for everything. And anyone who wants to, please feel free to get in touch with you on LinkedIn, Sankalp Shangari. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for sparing this time. Very, very honored to speak with you, and we'll speak more. Maybe on a quarterly basis, we should talk and update.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. All right. Have
Thank
a
you,
good
sir.
one. Peace.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.